And in Minden, as you mentioned, you're in charge of the youth team.
Yeah.
Or the youth program. And what is it exactly that you would like to share with the young football players, and why? I mean, you could just live here, play, enjoy the culture of Germany and Europe. Why is it important for you to give back?
Well, for me, it's like giving back. I never had an older brother. I'm the oldest, and I know the feeling of not having somebody older guide you in the right direction. Even though I had people guide me in the right direction, I didn't have that one guy I can go to and just like, hey, I need this, and I want to be that for the my kids here, and like all the kids that I'm with, any kid that I meet, anytime they need something, I try to do my best, just the same as anybody random person asks me if I can do something for. I always try to do my best for people, because like I said, if I do it, it may come back in return in other things, And like I said, I don't look for any return gifts or anything like that. I'm just doing it out because that's just who I am. That's just my nature, and like I said, that's just what I've always been taught, to do right by people, and like I said, things will be done right by you.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Totally agree. And of course, not only do you want to give back on the field, but you also want to give back off the field, which leads us to life school projects. So how did all that get started? And of course, minus the current COVID situation, what's been the response to that so far?
Well, it's been a great experience. Well, first of all, just to go back again, I was in the situation where I'm receiving my football money, and as an import here, you're here for 6 months, and therefore you're wanting to go out to Spain or you want to go to Amsterdam and things like that. So I'm like, man, I'm checking how much money I got left. I got like $100, €100 left. Let me call my mom. It's like, it's very embarrassing for you as a so-called professional athlete to be calling home. Hey, mom, you wire me some money? I'm like, I'm supposed to be an athlete over here and doing things, and it was the point where I had to find a job. I had to do something, but as an American here, there's the jobs aren't that much. You have to learn some German. So I took some classes, but I found a company that was doing nothing but English with native speakers. So I was like, yeah, let me get on with them. And I got into a situation where I was getting more money teaching English than I was getting with football. So I'm like, what? The football money is okay. It's on time, but this money over here, I'm getting weekly money. I'm not getting paid a month. I'm getting paid every week.
Right.
So it's like the same thing. And I was like, I had to make a decision where I kind of had to put football as a hobby, instead of, doing something that I really wanted to do. And I had a few teachers contact me personally. How can you do this by yourself? Knowing that I have no German business knowledge, just going back language, all the rules are here different because you have that paper, everything's on paper.
Right.
They don't, everything's on paper, 3 times paper, copies.
Right.
And
Right.
I didn't know the situation. That's why, my wife took care of everything. I also got, married in 2019.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
Congratulations.
it was a weird situation. We'll get to that also. It was the thing where I wanted to start something of my own. Like I said before, it was just the right time, and a lot of teachers were asking me, can I do it alone? And I was like, sure, let me just see how I can make my own company. And that's where Life School Projects came into play.
And what exactly do you do with Life School?
Oh, Life School Project. We go all over Germany, having the kids overcome their fears of speaking English. Like I said, we go to Munich, Dusseldorf, Berlin. We're having a 3 to 5 day project week with kids during the normal school hours. And basically, we cook with the kids, we play sports, we do a little town tour, and we do like a small little presentation at the end of the week. And we give them little gifts, book bags, T-shirts, and things like that.
Right.
But like I said, it's just for me, I wanted to show the kids that anything in life is possible. I never thought I would be here in Germany, teaching with you guys, having my own company and things like that.
Right.
And I'm telling these kids that they start off with 2 or 3 languages. In America, we just know English.
Right.
I'm telling them, hey, if you go to America, you might get a good job. And because in America, you may know people that have no Spanish, or, it's very seldom that people know more than 3 languages unless their parents came from these countries. And I'm like, you guys can easily take the English language, the German language, French, or whatever, because they have to learn these languages. It's a mandatory. You can easily go to America and find a good job.
Yeah.
And that's what my ideal is, to show them that there's more out there than Germany, because you always can come back. I always can go back to America and, do what I want to do.
Right.
But it's not that I don't want to do that. It doesn't match up what I'm trying to do.
Right.
It's my family, friends are in America, but, my purpose, I feel like, is here, just to, reach out to kids and just showing them that, anything in life is possible.
And I think it's important to note, that you came here as a visitor, as an import player, yet and still you have the urge to give back to a community that you don't even come from. And I think that speaks volumes to your character, to the point that youth everywhere need role models and positive opportunities to grow.
Yep.
And I think that's what you're trying to provide with life school projects. And so you see that, and you're taking action. You're not just talking about it, you're actually being about it. And I think it's important to acknowledge that, and show appreciation for you doing that. So, I just want to say I think that's really good what you're doing with life school projects, which also leads me to the Punt, Pass, Kick Europe.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to tell us about that?
Well, Punt, Pass, and Kick was a big thing in America. That was basically all of the younger kids my age, 13 to 14 years old, to be able to have that chance to play in front of an NFL crowd. Because, you have the state tournament, local tournament, and you move up in the rankings. And therefore, the winners are always going to a NFL game to play during halftime. It was, last year, my mom called me. She was going through me and my brother's trophies, and she asked me, "Why are you guys not doing punt, pass, and kick over there?" And I just sit there and look like, I've been here for almost 9 years. I haven't even, thought of this. And here in Europe, there's nothing like this, because when you pick up a football, you're not going to tackle anybody first. You're going to throw the ball, or you're going to kick it.
Right.
So that's basically the brains behind it. Is just a concept. Anybody can do it. But like I said, it's better to do it than keep talking about doing it. So I really had to get a team together and really figure out how can we bring this to Europe and Germany, or Germany is a bigger powerhouse than the other countries in football. But like I said, it's nothing that we can get a 5-year-old to play football or start throwing the football instead of waiting till they're 13, 14 years old. It's just too much time. We can get them at a younger age to get them more involved in the sport and being a better person at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And like I said, that's just our whole thing about just giving back and teaching the kids, American football. This one football can basically change your life.
Right.
And like I said, you had other interviews with different people, Roy, Jabari, and like I said, everybody has the same story of how one football can take you all across the world.
Right.
If you really invest in stuff like that into it. And that's why I just want to show the kids that, you can do this. Big, small, is always a place on the football field for
Always
anybody. Also with girls, boys, anybody.
Right.
And that's what we just want to show the kids. It's another sport where they don't have to kick a soccer ball. You can throw a football also.
Right. I mean, that's great, and definitely want to support you there. So that's Life School Projects and Punt, Pass, Kick Europe.
And I have another company also.
Yeah.
Well, I have a tutoring company.
Yeah, right. You told me about that.
English-speaking area in Bielefeld, where it's just a normal tutoring, one-on-one, type thing. And like I said, it's just something where I used to work at. But my boss at the time, he didn't want to do it anymore. So I was like, I'm not going to just let this, go out and like close it, because the kids, they love it coming here. And when I left to go to Hildesheim the first time, we lost like 18 kids because I left. And when I came back, they knew that I was taking over. They came back, actually. Okay. So it was, I got a lot of stuff in my hands right now. But like I said, I got a good team that is helping me to reach more, people out here in Germany.
Okay. And you mentioned that you've been living out here for almost 9 years now. So what are some things that stick out to you that you've been able to learn about the world and about yourself while living outside of the U.S.?
Well, this is goes back to the race card. You know, there still is racism. There's racism everywhere. Don't get me wrong, but I don't have to overlook on my shoulder. You know, when somebody's walking behind me, I don't have to worry about gun violence and things like that. Of course, everybody has guns. I mean, they don't have guns, but they have illegal guns. You know, everybody got a spare weapon somewhere. Mm-hmm. But it's not that. It's not that here in Germany. Like I said, you can walk on the street, drink a beer. You don't have to worry about the police, taking you to jail or things like that. It's just the small things. The Autobahn. I get to drive 200 miles per hour almost on some stretches. It's just seeing something different. Being taught all about Nazis and things like that, and to come here and not to really see that. That just goes back to show that, not that they're trying to hide things from us, but they're not trying to give us all the information that we actually need for the world. They give us just what we want to see here about the USA, but they don't tell us about these other places. But I see castles and, old buildings that are even older than the USA that are still here in Germany. Mm-hmm. But it was just something different, For me, I'm an opportunist. Anything that's different than my current situation, I like to see how it is,
Right. Okay.